Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video, and today, if you guys saw the title of today's video, we're going to be simming the 2023-2024 NFL season inside Madden with no injuries, of course. This is with the base roster, the roster that just came out. So this isn't even my this is my roster because it does have Dalvin Cook and Zeke on their correct teams. At the midseason mark, we are 4-3 with the Rams. Of course, that doesn't really matter. We're not really controlling a team. Everything's set on auto. Patrick Mahomes, Jacoby Brissett, and Josh Allen are your yard leaders for QBs. Rushing leaders are Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Aaron Jones. Receiving leaders, Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, and Chris Olave. Sack leaders, Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Josh Allen. Interceptions leaders, Derek Stingley Jr., Quandre Diggs, Marcus Peters. Tackle leaders, Nick Bolton, Pete Warner, and Fred Warner. So nothing too surprising there. We're going to check out the standings, of course, at the playoffs, as well as stats and awards then. Packers are 6-0, Ravens 5-2, Lions 5-2, Falcons 5-2, Bills 5-2, Eagles 5-2, Chargers 4-2, Cowboys 4-2, Steelers 4-2, Titans 4-2, and then so on and so forth. I wish I would scroll down a little bit faster. Some of the struggling teams at the moment are the Bucks, the Colts, the Saints, the Cardinals, the Bears, and the Dolphins, all under 500 and all without 3 wins, as well as the Texans and the Panthers and the Giants. God, for some reason I couldn't speak there. I sound like a dumbass. Let's head over to the playoffs now. Of course, like I said, we're not controlling the Rams. We are just simply using them as the experiment because I figured they would do bad enough to where it wouldn't really change anything amongst the simulation. They ended up finishing 6-11, so a very hard second half apparently. Must have had I was going to say injury. I turned them bitches off. So I did leave pre-existing injury on. So the Cardinals shouldn't have been good all that much. The Chargers finished first, then you got the Jets, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the Steelers, the Bills, and the Browns, all on the AFC side. On the NFC side, you got the Cowboys, the Packers, the Falcons, the 49ers, Eagles, Washington, and then you have the Detroit Lions as well. So you have 3 teams from the NFC East, 3 teams from the NFC North. I mean, not NFC North, AFC North. You have 2 from the NFC North, and you have 1 from each of the respective divisions from the NFC remaining, both the South and West. And same will be said about the AFC South and the AFC West. So Chiefs do not make it. Surprising. Okay, let's look at the records now. The Cowboys ended up going 15-2. Not surprising. Their playbook is still apparently very dominant in the franchise sim. Chargers 11-6. Packers and Falcons go 12-5. A bunch of 11-6 teams. And the Ravens, Patriots, Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos all go 9-8. But because they're in the AFC, the Lions make it to the playoffs at 9-8 as well. Pretty crazy. Teams that struggled this year: Rams, Texans, Seahawks, Colts, Bucks, Giants, Cardinals, Bears, Dolphins. So apparently those offenses, both in Chicago and down in Miami, just couldn't get it going. And Cardinals are not surprising considering the fact that they have Kyle Murray on injured reserve for most of the year, if not all the year, depending on how it plays out in real life. He could be subject to staying put on the bench for the full season, depending if they want to tank and try to go for Caleb Williams in the draft. Matt Stafford had 4,300 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 16 picks. But Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers are your leaders for this year's passing. They each finished with above 34 touchdowns and at least 4 interceptions, all throwing the ball over a 70% clip. Completion percentage clip. Josh Jacobs, Bijan Robinson, and Aaron Jones are your rushing leaders. Christian McCaffrey also eclipsed 1,500 yards. All of them eclipsed at least 7 touchdowns, but majority of them eclipsed 10. Zeke actually had 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns with the Patriots, so he definitely took the ball away from Ramondre Stevenson, which kind of sucks. Bijan Robinson, I'm not surprised he put up those numbers. The one that's really surprising is Josh Jacobs putting that much up that soon. The receiving leaders go as follow: Kupp, Lamb, Diggs, McLaurin, and Jefferson. McLaurin had probably one of the better seasons with the fact that he had such little receptions compared to some of the other guys. So, and Chris Olave, Metcalf, Ayuk, and Amon-Ra St. Brown kind of round out that top 10. Levante David, Eric Kendricks, Fred Warner, Pete Warner, and Ernest Jones are your tackle leaders for this year. Micah Parsons, Marcus Lawrence, and Rashawn Gary are your sack leaders, with Aaron Donald and Von Miller bringing it up the rear. Chris Jones and Max Crosby are also there. Interceptions leader Fred Warner, so middle linebacker, gets it. Charvarius Ward, a teammate of Fred Warner. So in total combined, they both had 16, which is insane for a pairing to have. Derek Stingley Jr., the midseason interception leader, only ended up grabbing one more interception all season. Marshawn Lattimore, Jalen Johnson, Tyson Campbell, Mike Hilton, and Anton Winfield rounded out the top 10. Isaiah Simmons is the forced fumble leader, who actually got traded to the Colts. So the Cardinals really went tank mode. Dre Greenlaw and Pat Surtain are also there. Kind of annoying that a bunch of linebackers aren't there, or at least defensive ends getting strip sacks. But then again, Madden seems to still be broken. The franchise sim still seems to not work 100% correctly, or even relatively correct. Riley Patterson is your best kicker of the year, going 19 for 19 and 35 for 35. Rodrigo Blankenship is arguably your second best kicker, going 15 for 16 and 42 for 42. I think that's better than going 16 of 23 and then 54 or 54. I think you only missing one kick and not missing 7 is better than you hitting 10 extra points, in my opinion. AJ Cole, Brian Anger, and Cameron Johnston are your net yard average punters. Well, best net yard average punters. Lamar Jackson wins your MVP, going 9-8 and missing the playoffs for the Ravens. And that's how you know this game is not legit. Lamar Jackson would not have won that MVP. Dak Prescott would have. He had the most passing yards. I think he had one of the most touchdowns for a quarterback. He led his team to the best overall record. Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes would not have won this MVP. No doubt about it. Coach of the Year is Mike McCarthy, of course, going 15-2. Arthur Smith follows him up. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is technically Josh Jacobs. As an MVP, you will never win both Offensive Player of the Year and MVP. So Josh Jacobs wins Offensive Player of the Year. Von Miller, Max Crosby, and Khalil Mack are your 3 finalists for Defensive Player of the Year, with Von Miller winning it. Of course, Zay Flowers, who a lot are considering their number 1 already in Baltimore, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Not surprising when you have an MVP caliber quarterback. Michael Mayer and Rashee Rice all finish out the top 3. Devon Achane must have had a really good year to be 4th in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting, even on a bad team. Will Anderson, Joey Porter Jr., and Christian Gonzalez all finish out the top 3 for Defensive Rookie of the Year for the AFC. NFC Cup, Terry McLaurin and Jalen Hurts round out your top 3 for Offensive Player of the Year. Cooper Kupp putting up that 1,600-yard season. Not really surprising. Fred Warner with 9 picks and 140 tackles. That's also not surprising. It could have easily went Micah Parsons as well, just because of his 20-sack season, but unfortunately not. Bijan Robinson, Bryce Young, and Jordan Addison get your Offensive Rookie of the Year. Of course, Bijan Robinson, he put up 1,400 yards and led the Falcons to an okay record, well, a good record, 12-5, whereas Bryce Young as a quarterback only went 9-8. I don't know what his stats look like, but that is understandable. Brian Branch, Jack Campbell, and Byron Young all in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Brian Branch ended up winning it. The steal of the draft, in my opinion, and Brian Branch ends up winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, and that will round out the awards. Let's go to the divisional round next. So at the divisional round, the Chargers are going to be taking on the Browns, who upset the Jets. So they send Aaron Rodgers back home. I mean, he was already home, but they send him home. Then Josh Allen takes care of business and knocks out Joe Burrow. Trevor Lawrence goes in and takes care of Kenny Pickett. So Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence are going to be meeting up in the divisional, as well as Deshaun Watson and Justin Herbert are also going to be meeting up in the divisional. Dak is going to be meeting up with Jacoby Brissett, Jordan Love with Jalen Hurts. So no real old quarterbacks in this entire division. I think your oldest is Deshaun Watson going to the divisional. In the NFC Championship week, we're going to have Justin Herbert taking on Josh Allen and Dak taking on Jordan Love. So Jordan Love really showing that he can do just about as much as Aaron Rodgers currently. Taking the team all the way to the NFC Championship. That's exactly what Aaron Rodgers has done since 2011, is take him to the NFC Championship and lose. So let's see if he can do anything differently. Let's sim to the Super Bowl week. And the Cowboys end up defeating your Buffalo Bills 34-31. Dak Prescott wins Super Bowl MVP. Of course, he got snubbed of the real MVP of the season, but that is okay. He ends up winning his Super Bowl MVP. He ends up bringing Dallas their 6th Super Bowl and 9th NFC Championship altogether. What a season. So if this means anything, the Dallas Cowboys will be your Super Bowl champs. Now, of course, Dallas Cowboys are probably rejoicing in the comments, being like, finally, we win one. I knew it was our season. But let's be real, Madden, they don't fucking like to overinflate Dallas's playbook, it seems like. And their roster is always very good, so it's pretty easy for them to win. I wish there was an easier way to turn down Dallas and be like, hey, no, you're not winning the Super Bowl every fucking first year. But it is what it is. With that being said, guys, if you guys enjoy this content or any other content here on my channel, I'd appreciate if you guys stick around, subscribe, like, comment, all that fun stuff. I'm going to be posting more Madden 24 videos, not just this type of stuff, but real franchise stuff, rebuild, stuff like that, hopefully within the next week or so. And I'm going to hope to be putting out videos for at least the month of August, and then we'll see how it goes after that. With that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.